Economic sentiment improves in March. There's a Rick's bank signals rate cut soon. Okie dokie, Spain inflation rate rises. There is a piece that came out from the Fed that pay $1 million packages and buy whole teams, AI. Yeah, okay. So how telehealth widens across to the abortion pills. Well, whatever. I don't want to talk about that. So option option interest passes to the first time ever. If you don't think retail's playing, then ta-da. Cybercrime. I keep saying this. I don't see how you cannot be in these cyber names. I just keep saying it. I mean, just, the importance, of these. It's going to become more and more important. I just think, this is. So we'll see. I mean, and it's interesting though, believe it or not, and I've said this before, AVGO is one of the tops in terms of holdings for a lot of these cyber ETFs, which I find fascinating in and of itself. But most impersonating brands and email scams is Microsoft, Adobe, Google. I got Amazon all the time. Microsoft, I don't know. Where people see a terrorism threat, yeah, France, Sweden, India. Impact of terrorism. Majority of IS attack claims are now outside Syria. Anyways, weather forecast accuracy. I think this is pretty fun. You know what? I think they should do this for economists, right? 3-day, 80%. You get the, 10-day, 20%. But it's better than it was. Now let's take a look at hurricane forecasting years. Okay, so much better, right? Anyways, forecasting their projections for the 2020 year-over-year CPI, as we should. Rising energy prices, yeah, but I mean, there's always, this is why this whole 2% narrative on the inflation side is just a pipe dream. I think 3 to 4% is realistic and admirable, and I think should be. But I don't know how they pivot. I mean, they gotta pivot. I just don't. There's got to be something that allows them to pivot. I don't know. But anyways, my thoughts on that. Markets also pricing in higher inflation. Okay, it's about freaking time, right? Global short-term bond yields respond to data surprises, right? Unemployment, this is what you see. Okay, GDP since 2021. Oop, oop, oop. The problem that we have right now is the efficiency of this market. I don't know if I should say efficiency of this market, but the reality is the speed in which things are accomplished is mind-boggling. Okay, I mean, I can't say this enough. It's mind-boggling. And I don't know how any other way to put it is that it takes hours that would take months, right? In a normal world that we live in. So I'm just saying, I mean, it's wondrous times. It really is wondrous times. Cycles, let's take Apple. You know the drill here, guys. This is everybody's holding their breath on Apple, right? This is really fascinating. This is the S&P, SPX plus industrial production divided by unemployment rate. And when it rolls over, that's when you get the recession. Isn't that fascinating? I like this dude. I like the way this shows that we are in the end of the cycle. Okay. But it has to roll over. Then we get recession, right? I don't know. Cardinal Health, great value with 4P. I am actually in Cardinal Health as an investment as well. I see it the same way. I mean, there's certain ones you want to be in, Cigna, anyways. But Foot Locker, I'm all out in the Foot Locker, but anyways. Well, I'm waiting on silver, friends. I have my stops on my small hedges on it, and I'm waiting on it to confirm, and then I can add into it. This is probably the most exposure I've had in years in commodities. You would know why: gold, copper, stuff like that. This should not be. This is a no-brainer. Watch the uranium. I think that's going to start picking up. So I'm seeing signs of it. So just be aware of that. So this is kind of when it comes to commodity super cycles, it ebbs and flows. And I've said this to you before. Okay, you can within a commodity super cycle have round trippers. Okay, in certain commodities. Okay, it's kind of similar to like a bull market pullback that feels like that is quote unquote a bear market, but from a long-term perspective, it's still a bull market, right? Same thing happens in commodities, and this is where people get it so wrong. Okay, so wrong. Okay, all right. So let's take, for example, natty gas. Okay, I'm patient. I still have my hedge on KOLD, but I know that we're working on a multi-year, probably decade low in natty gas. And you may say to me, full of shit. Okay. And this is where the forward-lookingness look comes from. This is how I got everyone in this room, if you listen to me, in gold early. Okay. This is how I said to everybody, as an asset class with bricks, I'm investing in cryptos. Okay. You cannot, when it comes to commodities, you cannot think of the present, you have to think of the future. And you have to have conviction with that. Now, I'm not stupid. I mean, I still have the KOLD on as a hedge, but natty gas eventually is going to be the offset on the energy side for the aging infrastructure that we're having in terms of electricity on the power side, the power grid. It makes the most sense, okay? They're not going to use gasoline, oil. That's not how it works. The wind, Trump problem with. Now you do have the construct of solar, okay, but in places like Indiana where you're building these factories, okay, guess what? They don't have the sunshine that you need, okay? So I'm just talking out loud. This is why cocoa keeps going up, all right? It's supply chain. There's not enough supply because in West Africa, they stopped planting cocoa trees. So there's not enough cocoa being produced. And this is how you get these types of, now, guess cocoa's in a lot of stuff, guys. I'm not giving up my chocolate. Am I paying more? You betcha. All right, estimated value, but this is not what's written. Look, thank you, Roger. Roger's printing all this stuff that's important, okay, on the agricultural side, what goes through the port of Baltimore. I mean, you have to be, you have to understand this, okay? So, I mean, I have to say that, you know, I'm still in moo, but I mean, and I have a teeny tiny position in Caterpillar still, but it's below 300. I bought it off the 10 EMA on the weekly, but there's a lot of things that go through here. Okay. All right. So this is what call quintanilla. This is what it looks like, guys. Look, 50%. Holy, I want it. I'm in it. I'm playing it, but I still, I don't know. I just keep saying this. I know I keep saying this, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how it happens. I just don't know. But anyways, 50%. I would be a very happy person if that happened. All right, so this dude is the best that I've come across. Heavy followers, posts a lot. This guy's really bright. And I got into Cypher when he shouted it out. I'm up 100% on it. He's saying that now is the time to buy more. And anyways, I bought it off of his shout out. I was looking at some of the ETFs, but I didn't like the composition. I'm in coin, I'm in MST. Look, I've been in these for a while now, and you know that, okay? You know, I'm more in these blockchain names. But MSTR is a crypto. I mean, if you're buying MSTR, you're buying crypto, right? And it's leveraged and all kinds of stuff, right? We'll see. Okay, but anyways, this is the dude I follow. Okay. Cypher, let's do it. I've got equity on it. I mean, I'm probably gonna buy some. I'm not probably gonna buy some calls on it. Maybe out a month, couple months. See about that. Watch Wolf. That's another one that can get going. So these little, and I mentioned this earlier in the week. Watch these little baby ones for catch-ups on the retail side. I'm just saying. It's my opinion, and so I'm doing. Thanks, Roger. As you as always. NVO, I don't want to buy that one. President Joe Biden has whatever. Jesus fucking Christ. Is this what we've come to in this country? That you basically have to stop flying the LGBTQ pride flag? Whatever. I can't deal with that. Was intended for FTX co-founder said, turn over to U.S. authorities. Okay, day GD. First day on the market, I don't know, worth 4.6 billion per. I mean, that did. Well, what am I going to tell you? And it's up 14% today. I was in it. I got out of it. This one. We'll see the U.S. At the war. What's new? Anyways, whatever. What else is new? Say what else is new? So yeah, there's an article coming out. I have to find it. Okay, so this is really fascinating, guys. You know me and my stats, okay? Going back to 1954. So this is why momentum begets momentum. When the S&P is up 5 months in a row, okay? Don't mess with it, okay? 2023, but if you go out 6 months to 12 months, okay, 92.9% higher. This is pretty impressive. All right, I'm just saying, okay, don't mess with it. 75.9, if you 75.9, okay, percent statistical probability will be up. Okay, and this is why we keep going up, is because everybody keeps picking tops and are underinvested, right? I mean, everybody understands that, right? I'm just saying. All right, infrastructure shares have lost ground over the last decade. There's a problem here, and I don't know. Somewhere along the line, I'm telling you right now, probably in the second part of this decade, this is a problem, infrastructure problem. I keep saying it, but 100-day rally since October 2023 has been very strong abroad. So it's bottoming out. So here we are. Anyways, whatever. All right. Corporate clients led inflows and hedge fund clients led outflows. Makes sense to everybody, right? Once again, you all see trimming to get back within statistical exposure as mandated, whether it's a pension fund, whether it's an asset wealth fund, whatever. Everyone has rules and regulations. And these are quarterly rebalances that happen, that are mandated and required. Okay. Just saying, wow, those mobile calls are really working. I'm just saying, okay? I just keep talking. Yeah, this is a joke. Whatever. I don't know. There we go. All right, so this altitude is pretty smart. Okay, bankers are not an inflation form of money, they are a financial form of money. Okay. Macro volatility, I agree with this. I mean, this is why I keep saying a lot of people don't pay attention. I don't want to hear me say anything, but I continue to show the worth of macros. I know a lot of you made a ton of money with the FOMC when I came out and shouted about this, okay? And I said, assets, this gives a green light for assets, yada, yada, yada. Macros matter even in a day trading room. And that's why for those of you who join me early in the morning, okay, to listen to me jabberwock and opine, because macros matter. All right, and I'm just saying that because macros tend to be the forgotten, and they shouldn't be. All right, and this is how you get into stuff earlier, and this is how I can see stuff. Twins says stuff too. Okay, this is what we do. Okay, and if you don't want to, look, I am not, my role here is not, I'm not a day trader. Look, I follow Boppy, I follow South Beach, I follow Spartan and stuff like that. But what I do is from a bigger picture standpoint, okay? And this money, it gets you in the right stuff. Like I saying right now, I said early in the week, look at these smaller crypto names. They're going to have their day in the sun. Riot, more these names. Everybody's so focused on MSTR and everybody's so focused on coin. But the easy money, okay, on these smaller crypto names comes to play, okay? Whether you accept that or you don't accept it, that's your choice. But I'm just saying, and the crypto is beyond, it's an asset class that cannot be ignored. And a lot of people said, oh, it's a bunch of idiots out there. But this is creating a wealth effect. Okay. Well, you think about the market wealth effect, right? With stocks. Think about the crypto wealth effect going on right now. I'm being serious about this. Okay, there are a lot of individuals, small individuals, retail in this crypto space, making a lot of money on this wealth effect. Okay, I'm just saying, talking out loud. Okay, and people tend to forget about this. All right, so there was a meeting of the minds, American businesses. Okay, God bless. Researchers with the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia say that switching to a gold standard could stabilize prices. Okay. The United States of America has the largest position in gold as a central bank globally. You get back to something like this, that would be something. That could take care of a lot of stuff in terms of on the inflation side. Okay? I'm serious. That could get you down to 2%. And think about it. There's a reason why central banks globally outside the United States can't get enough of gold. There's going to be a supply shortage eventually as a result of that. You can think I'm full of shit, but so far I've been right about the importance of gold. Okay? You have to have, and okay, why? Nobody outside the United States wants to continue to be held hostage by the US dollar. And you can think I'm full of shit and stuff like that, but I've been pounding this table for a couple years now. People, countries outside the United States are tired of the United States and are tired of the US dollar being held hostage. I'm just saying. If you look at crypto's blockchain, it has never been hacked from a security point of view. But I don't know anything. I'm just saying. But I know when there's a sea change. And I said that sea change 2 years ago. Okay. And I said when BRICS came out, and I said China here, and I said India, yay. Okay. I'm serious about this stuff. Not now, 5 years, 10 years. If you position yourself correctly, okay, this is where wealth comes. Watch this desktop metal. I'm actually in this one. This actually, I think this is a takeover target, but I'm long it. It's already up since I shot it out like 20%, something like that. The reason why I'm in it, it actually has importance, believe it or not, on the robotic side. Okay, there's 3D printing, but just keep an eye on it. Okay, it's been moving up. I shot it out a couple weeks ago when it was down in the low 60s. Okay, so it's in the 80s now. I think this one, anyways. Well, that would be cool mining. 40% of Americans can't pay an unexpected 1,000 expense. Okay. This is reality. And in the world we live in this room, a lot of times we have a lot of wealthy individuals. Okay. And I don't think we appreciate the fact that 44% of Americans can't pay. Okay. $1,000 expense. I'm just saying. I'm the moral and ethical arrow in this room at times. Lowered its outlook for 5 banks: First Commonwealth, MT Bank, B Bank. Oh, okay, well, yeah, we'll see what happens with that. So in a strong improving stockman environment, I like adding to the, well, whatever, I don't want to talk about that. Okay, IWM, let's see if we can start. I mean, we got a lot of good way. I mean, it's coming. I just keep saying that it's coming. I'd love for it to come, but I mean, I'm positioned that way, but. All right, what do we got? Marvell picks up as City opens 30 to Callis, watch ahead of AI, but I am long Marvell calls and equity. It is working. So 3M's healthcare spin-off. This is kind of interesting. Larry Fink talks energy pragmatism. Can Trump cash in on the DJW? I guess. I don't know. Investors side they find, but I don't know. I don't know what the lockup looks like on that one. You guys would know more than I would. Okay. Gets any shares a buy. Biggest stock movers, Mook, Jimmy. Well, I had calls, but I didn't have the, what's to keep it. Anyways. It's true. All right. OTLK. OGL, mining. We're seeing the mining stocks, right? All right, we've gotten to the point, I say this, that we're going to see the miners catch up. I showed you the spread, right? GLD, GDX. Okay, that could be a 20% pickup over performance on that. And some of these can go up 50%. So I started sticking to it. Lows, Biden neutral on valuation, right? A lot of this stuff is valuation, right? Let's see if some of these initiations, what's going on today. All right, so what do we got? CBT, WTC, Western Dig. I know that we were in this yesterday, and I still actually kept my Western Dig overnight. So that's working well for me. Yelp. There was an interesting money coming into Let's take a look at this flow. I want to show this to you. I mean, this is not up to date. Well, maybe it is up to date. Anyways, this was interesting. SPY, and I shot this out. That's a lot of money. It came in for June 2025. AMD, 190 calls, and pins. I thought that was really interesting. So this is the same entity. When you see the same expirations and you see size like this, it's an institution or whatever it is. Could be a wealth fund, who knows what it is. But anyways, just saying. Okay. All right, so what do we got? Hess, McKesson, Marathon. Okay, Hermes, Carlsberg, Lululemon, Mondelez, Equinix, Edwards, Life Science, EQT, McDonald's, Microsoft, still in the sweet spot. There we go. The S&P has never been lower after this price momentum signal. 6th highest count in history. Going back to 1943. 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%. Momentum begets momentum. You want to pick a top? Go ahead. It would have to be a macro shock of some sort in order not to have this not happen. 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. You want to pick a top? Be my guest. This was 2017. Everything else was in the 1943. Okay. Relative strength, interest, financials, healthcare, whatever. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Go pick a top. Go ahead. This is the palm. I show you the institutional exposure. This is what like I say, this is what's going on right now. Okay. This should be in the upper 70s with quarter after quarter with NVIDIA. This should be upper 70s, even the 80s, because of the future on this one. Okay, think about it. Sorry about that. This is what flummoxes me, this is why I'm overweight. Even if it's just the lack of intellect sometimes. I'm just saying. All right, there's nothing here. I mean, when we've had major tops, and I mean major tops, it's a sea of red. Sea of red. Just saying. Now this is getting there, but it's not rosy red. Look at this. This is why we keep going up. 10 days, okay, 20 days. I mean, see, there's no extensions. There's nothing here except cocoa, right? Anyways. And here we go, end of the month, March. Last day. The problem we have is, and I can't recall, to be honest with you, the release of such an important data on when the market's closed. But I think this is the earliest Good Friday can be. But I cannot recall, and I can't recall this before, to be honest with you, that they would actually release it when the market's closed. I don't know. That could be an FU moment, right? Anyways, here we are. Rates are coming down. Da 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 da. Canada rates up. Look at these. All right, so nothing going on. Here's the 2.5, you know that. Here's the 2.10. I was thinking to myself on this one, okay, how much has this bounced off of the low that we saw, right, to where we are right now? And that's 70% bounce. So I said to myself, what about the 3-month 10-year? It's only bounced 52%. And it's still very inverted, okay? This is what I look at. Everybody looked at this, which is fine, but history says, no, you look at this. And I just think this is fascinating. And what's even more fascinating is, and the reason why I say this is because it never got down to here. So maybe that's the equal to that. So I don't know, I'm just talking out loud, but that's how I think. All right, so China, Germany. Oh, we stay within this range. I don't see beyond that, right? Dollar, okay. A little bit of a bounce going on there, right? Cryptos, a little bit of a pullback there, right? Is Bitcoin, right? So it's still holding the breakout, right? And here's Bitcoin, Ethereum. So this is kind of fascinating with the Bitcoin, Ethereum, right? It hasn't broken out yet. Commodities, gold up, silver down, platinum down, 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 down. Everything's red, 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 red. Except cocoa. Oh, cocoa just went with coffee. So I'd say 85%, 90% red, and gold is up. Natty gas, like I say, will be like this, months in the making, probably 5 months, 4 or 5 months of consolidation. Okay. Crude got rebuffed at the top. That's why we started trimming oil stuff. We'll add back in. Gold holding up really well. And here's gold. You can see on the breakout, still looking fine. I love this, the Bollinger top end, but needs to consolidate now. Okay, markets. What do we got? All rising off the funky pullback we had yesterday at the end of the day, right? Equity, someone trimming. That was rebalancing. That's what rebalancing looks like. Well, I shouldn't say rebalancing. I should say trimming is a better word for it, right? Exposure. DAX up, everybody's up, 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 except China, you know, the drill there, Hang Seng, whatever. Okay. DAX, fine, looking good. FAS, fine. FTSE, no comment. India, I'm so proud of this trade, really am. Well, anyways, this was the books trade saying, hey, hey, China who? Well, anyways. Nikkei, wow, very impressive. Now this is a house of cards. Just saying. Because the Japanese government is the largest owner of their own stock market, they start to sell. K-Web, no comment. Okay. Some would beg to differ, but anyways, I do have exposure to EM. CQQQ, that's not what I'm interested in. This is what I'm interested in. Watch this, it's going to flag out. Next leg upcoming, that's beautiful. Bullish narrative. Okay, I don't know why anybody, I understand, but, okay, if I have some exposure, but not a lot of exposure, okay? Dead money. Okay, so this is growth value IWM. This is growth value SPY. This shows you the brokenness of the SPY. as an index, right? And then I show you the IWM makeup. The reason why it can't go anywhere is because SMCI is 2%. MSTO is 1%. This is the problem. Okay. Why IWM is it takes so much to get it going is because you need these outside moves. And I, this is a transports fight, guys. Keep an eye on this. I know it's not sexy, but I'm watching this. Okay. This is a multi-month sideways consolidation. Okay. Just keep an eye on it. All right. So here's FedEx against UPS. All you had to do was be long FedEx and short UPS. I didn't take this trade, but I sure as hell should have taken that trade. And the reason why this is up, obviously, because of the earnings surprise, right? Broke out of this thing, but this is something. And I think this goes to all-time highs. Right here, the spread, all-time highs. Okay, I'm just saying. Dow Jones, transports against UPS. I mean, UPS is the bastard child of everything, right? Microsoft, oh, I don't want that. This is what I want.
Ready, Beth, ready to pop on whenever you're.
Okay.
Ready, guys. So what's up? Let me just pop up the screen share. Let's get right into it. So if you guys are new to chat, have you done so, make sure to click on that Discord link that's emailed to you. You're going to pop in a chat. So it looks something a little bit like this. First area to go to when you guys do come in, disclaimer section, click on that. Give that a read, as well as go to the new to chat information section. Scroll to the very, very top. Top of that section, you got a link to the disclaimer, as well as both this as well as this risk reward section. Super important to understand both in regards to risk reward, most important ratio in trading, guys. So definitely worth checking out that in that regard. Continue to scroll down. We have the summary of how this chat works, breaking down how all the channels work on the left-hand side. So you can probably navigate the chat throughout the day. Important to you in order to be looking. Continue to scroll down. We have the how to read alerts and the options and equity side, breaking down how to read alerts on both sides. Pretty straightforward in that regard. Below that, options rules that we like to use Monday to Thursday in regards to controlling risk, scaling in, scaling out, trading different price contracts, etc., etc. SPX rules that we use every single day on the SPX ideas. Continue to scroll down. We have any of the small account less than 10K, breaking down if you do have a smaller account less than 10K, some rules, information, discipline you can put in place. You can better manage your account. How to pick ideas from an options or equity perspective below that. And lastly, high conviction small account trades posted in that area when they do make sense. Let's take a look what we got going on today, guys. A couple different things. Pre-market tickers on watch. A couple things here. So Tesla, SMCI, CTAS, Merck, DJT, and then Hood. So Tesla gapping up and see with the market. SMCI gapping up and see with the market. CTAS gapping up on earnings. Merck, the FDA approved a drug for Merck designed to treat a rare progressive life-threatening lung condition called pulmonary and arterial hypertension. DJT gapping up on continuation. Then Hood just revealed their credit card, and that's gapping up on that. Let's take a look at these names from a technical standpoint intraday. So first two we're going to be looking at, guys, give you that Tesla and SMCI. Let's rip through these charts. Oh, I got to reopen this. Seconds. All right, so Tesla and SMCI. So 179.40 pivot to the upside today. Level holds 182.90, 182.67 to 186.50. Unable to hold, we look for a pullback towards the 174.94 to 170.74 on the downside. Going to be leaning bullish, looking for a continuation push higher if that pivot point is able to hold on Tesla. Siglet SMCI here. Alrighty, so pivot to the upside today. 1044 levels able to hold 1078. 1104 unable to hold. We got room back towards the 1012 to 974.86 on the downside. Going to be leaning bullish, looking for a continuation push higher if the pivot point is able to hold as well there. So that is SMCI and that is Tesla. Let's take a look at the next two guys. We got MSTR and Reddit. MSTR and Reddit. No, 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 no. Yeah, CTAS and a Merc. We should. This thing's had a heck of a run, eh? All right. So let's go 654.71 pivot. This level is able to hold. We have room for continuation where it's 661.06 to 668.72. Unable to hold 649.26 to 644.89 downside. Going to be leaning bullish there, looking for a continuation push higher. Let's take a look at Merck. Fibs today. All right, so Merck guys, let me just get one deleted. Okay. 130.62 pivot levels able to hold 132.42 to 134.35. Unable to hold 120.43, 126 on the downside, leaning bullish there, looking for a continuation push higher. I think it's a pretty good looking chart for a little leg up. All right, next two, DJT and then Hood. Oh, that's weird. Why won't this enter? There you go. $67.59 pivot to the upside today. Level hold 74.23, 79.35. Unable to hold. We look for a pullback towards 63.60 to 57.28 downside, leaning bullish. Neutral looking for continuation push higher. Hood. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so pivot to the upside today, 2049 level holds 2129, 2229, unable to hold 1959 to 1904. A lot of nines. All right, leaning bullish there, looking for a continuation push higher as well. If that pivot point can stay intact out the gate this morning. That's Hood. That is DJT. All right, let's take a look at the SPY and the FANG. All right, 520.82 pivot levels able to hold 521.51, 522.65 unable to hold on the SPY. We look for a pullback to the 519.66 to that 518.36 on the downside. One thing you guys should be aware of. Kind of got a new little channel forming right there. Not sure if you guys have noticed it, but this is the original downtrend on the hourly that broke. We obviously broke back within it. There was a channel there where it bounced off of, but now there's a now channel formed on the upside. So I think it's just something you should be aware of and keep an eye on. It's kind of a, very short term one, but I think it's interesting to say the least. Okay, let's take a look at Apple, rest of the FANG. One 170.65, sorry, 170.80. Yeah, 170.65 pivot to the upside today. Level holds 171.43, 171.96. Unable to hold 170.16 to 169.55. Downside leaning on the bullish neutral side only if we can get above this downtrend as well. So keep an eye on that. Let's take a look at Amazon. A couple of different, interesting setups here. One 179.38 pivot levels able to hold 180.29, 181.46. Unable to hold, we look for a pullback towards 177.98 to 176.71 downside leaning bullish neutral. That's Amazon. All right, Netflix 629.52 pivot level hold 632.37 to 634.36. Unable to hold 626.27, 623.16 leaning bullish neutral as well. I think it's going to stay within that range today. I'd love to see it break out of that double top though. So I'll give you the other levels above there. It does because it could have some pretty good room. I think it's like 646 area is where it would have room to. Let's take a look at Meta. See that level up there. Look at that daily chart. So pivot to the upside, 499.51 levels able to hold to get room towards 504.69. That level breaks, 510.09 on the upside will be tested. Unable to hold, we look for a pullback to 495.17 to 491.60 downside. Leaning bullish neutral, looking for a continuation push higher. It's Meta. Let's take a look at Google. That's close enough. All right, pivot to the upside today. 150.80 level holds 152.31, 153.85. Unable to hold, we look for a pullback towards 149.89 to 147.88. Leaning bullish, looking for a continuation push higher. All right. So that's SPY, it's a FANG. Those are the individual names that we're looking at today, guys. Gonna go and pass it over to Selpeach while I type up that pre-market action plan, and we'll go from there. Selpeach, if you're ready, she's all yours.
All right, guys. Shows you, like, I got a bunch of texts last night at like 3:45 from you guys. You know, should I short this stock? Should I short that stock? I don't know. You know, it seems to me like the short side is really, really difficult. And to expose yourself to overnight risk on the short side hasn't been a winning hand. Let's call it that way. All right. Like how many times in the last since October have you taken a stock short overnight and made money? Versus how many times have you taken a stock long overnight and making money? I would say it's probably, am I fair to say 20, 25, 30 to 1, 40 to 1? You know, wait for the market to be shit before you want to short. Okay. I mean, it's great in theory, you know, we've had a nice run and all that other stuff, but you got to go where things are paying, not where things, you know, you think you're going to, you know, you might make money that night. Go for what works, play the odds. The odds are you come in, even if the market goes out shitty and it's in your keister on the long side. So, you know, you got to keep that in mind. You know, you look at the technicals and the SPYs are good, right? Every day we do this little exercise and the Qs are tremendous, EMA support right across the board. And I look at my oscillator, and because you know, for whatever reason, I think it's the narrowness of the rally, but it hasn't been improving, is a -14. So, you know, the market has room. I mean, it's not oversold by any stretch. Valuation may be a little high, but since when does that ever stop a rally? Right? Never. Valuation almost never stops a rally. All right. So anyway, the Qs and SPYs are still good. And then you got the Russell, which is improving. You know what Tom Lee is saying. I think he's smoking something, but you know, he's been very right. So who am I to say that he's going to be wrong this time? I don't know. The transports are kind of, you know what I think, a waste of time. The utilities, waste of time. You know, it's the techie names, it's the cutting edge companies, and the other stuff is just like dog shit. All right, so the technical set up well. All right, now let's look at the what's going on. Go right to the bond market. You know that I think the bond market has become, I wouldn't call it irrelevant, but I would call it not a real factor in determining valuation. I think all of us realize what's going to happen here. Since Powell spoke last week, the 10-year is basically unchanged. Okay, so and on the short end of the curve, if you look at like the 2-year, it may be down like, I don't know, 0.06 or something like that. Nothing major. So bonds have found their prices. All right, are they going to cut rates this year 3 times? I have no freaking idea. I do think rates are going to stay higher for longer. And I think these levels are not onerous to equities. In fact, I think they're probably pretty good because people who have, you know, are older and don't want to the risk of the market can get 4% yields. Whereas in the, you know, prior to and during COVID, the yields were kind of shitty, right? And everybody was forced into equity markets. So now at least, you know, retirees can put money in the bank. They know it's going to still be there. They know they're making some interest, et cetera, et cetera. So I prefer these rates than like 1%. I think it's better for the stock market. I think it's better for the economy. I think it's better for a lot of people. I mean, mortgage rates are, who gets fucked? The young kids who are trying to borrow money to buy a house. That's true. But other than that, I think it's kind of sort of beneficial. Anyway, so if you look on the other countries like London and the Eurozone, rates are slightly lower this morning, but they have the same deal we have. Okay, you know, we kind of act in unison. There's very few outliers. And, you know, the outliers are countries that just are, you know, basically fiscally, monetarily, economically inferior. Turkey, 45% interest rates, places like that. So anyway, that's the bond market. Commodity wise, we have oil down a little bit, still above that $80 range that we have been looking at. So I think oils are probably better on the longer side, but they've had a really good run. So who knows? Natural gas can't get out of its own way. Gold continues to rally along with Bitcoin. I didn't look at Bitcoin yet, but I'll see. Obviously, they're looking at where the stocks are trading, it's probably up a little bit. Silver, copper's back below 40, and all these agriculture commodities are down a little bit today, but it's kind of sort of insignificant. Cocoa hit that 10,000 range, and now it's at 9,500, but still up from what, 3,500 in October or so. So big move there. Currency wise, we haven't been getting any action here, just like the bond market. Dollar mixed against North America. The yen, however, is at I think the lowest level since 1990, if I'm not mistaken, against the dollar. The Chinese currency continues to weaken a little bit. We're at 722 now. And the euro and the pound are kind of holding in there, 108, 126. That's been at that level with give or take, almost no move for months. Crypto up again, right? Bitcoin 1.5%, Ethereum 1%, Solana unchanged, and foreign markets. So they don't have the volatility we have generally because they don't have tech mostly, and if they do, it's kind of not a big part of their exchange. FTSE's down 0.4, DAX is up 0.5. Nikkei is up 1%, China's down 1.5%, Hong Kong's down 1.5%, Taiwan is up 0.3. So there's your backdrop. Okay. Banks and Fed, you got one Fed governor speaking today where we have a drought of economic numbers until April 4th or something like that. Fed isn't meeting, there's very few earnings. So we have kind of sort of a quiet period for the market trading where it trades. We do have some earnings, but they're kind of sort of punier companies. Tonight, anybody big? We got RH, that rum, and that's really it. Playboy, who gives a shit? And then nothing the following day. So earnings, kind of schedule very light. All right, so that's the situation, and then you got to look for individual names, and there you're getting action. Look at Donald Trump. It closed on its lows yesterday, I think it was, right? 57 or so. Yeah, closed on the low. So it had a range yesterday of 80 to 57. It closed at 57. So, on a breakout like that, closing on its lows on really good volume, I would venture to guess a lot of guys came in short DJT this morning based on that action, and look what happens, right? That's what I talk about. Shorting in a bull tape like this, it ain't good for your health. All right. DJT looked like a dead short on the close, and look at it up 12. So, play the odds. So that's that. Banks, Fed, nothing doing there. China will discuss, Russia will discuss crypto. We did discuss Mr. Market yesterday. There's a few stocks that are tradable, and it's not the greatest trading market except for those names. But that's what we got, right? Tuesday was yesterday, right? So pot stocks were good, casinos were good, HMOs, negative big oil and gas, Bitcoin, utilities, and semis. Okay, stocks were kind of quiet. They got hit at the end of the day. NASDAQ, Dow, S&P, and the transports were all down a little bit, nothing major. And we had that big sell program at the end of the day, right? Look at that, right back where it was and higher. So that's that. We have one Fed governor speaking today, Waller. And that's that. Sam Bankman-Fried is going to get sentenced this week. The judges, I'm sorry, the feds are asking for 40 to 50 years, and he's what, 32? So not a good situation. So that's that. Kramer, rally spreading out. May 7th, you have an Apple meeting, I think he's saying. So I think that's going to be, oh, I'm sorry, Magnificent Seven. He says Apple and Tesla are two of the worst performing stocks of the year. So Apple's down 12% for the year and Tesla's down 28% for the year, even after yesterday's rally, which is the worst performer in the S&P 500. Go figure. I think Tesla's got its work cut out for it. Okay. 10 best stocks year to date returns, S&P stocks, SMCI 26%, NVIDIA 86, CEG 58, Deckers 40, Meta, MU, GE, MDC, Lilly is 32, Disney 32, Western Dig 30, Eaton 28.9. Those are your 10 best S&P names. Okay, then he interviewed Larry Fink. And I think Larry is kind of living in his Eiffel Tower, but anyway, you need to think about retirement. They should change the retirement age higher than 65. The number of people 65 and older will double in the next few years. Healthcare costs are going up, people are living longer, they're saving less. I think he said 56 million Americans have no savings. And it's a crisis. I think that's the number he used. Oh, no, sorry. 57 million Americans have no savings. That's a little scary. Okay, how are they going to eat? Who's going to pay for them? Et cetera, et cetera. It's a problem. Young generation. Kramer, I think, was more in tune with the reality. You know, the younger generation has, you know, home ownership is very difficult. Accumulating wealth is very difficult. Taxes are generally pretty high. Inflation generally is pretty high. Food costs are through the roof. Rental costs are through the roof. Interest rates are high on buying a new home. And job market is tight for young people. So because people are staying on their jobs longer, there's less opportunity for young people to come in and take a seat at the table. So I think the setup for, you know, these young kids is very difficult. I mean, that's just the way it is. At 30, I had a kid and a house and all that other shit. 2 kids, maybe. Anyway, so that's what they were discussing. The only thing that Fink was saying is people have to invest in the market, which I completely agree with. But it's hard to invest in the market when you don't make enough money to live. That is the problem. Okay, so that was their discussion. Let me go to your question, Money, because you're sitting there very patiently. Alaska Air. So I think Alaska is as good as any of them, quite frankly. But these stocks, they just can't get going. They look okay on the charts, but like to me, the top idea of the day is Marvell. Okay. It was a really big call. They have a carrot in front of the stock. I think on April 11th, they have their annual meeting. They'll probably discuss their AI strategy. And what's his name put a big push on it today, Citibank. I mean, this stock, if it works, you'll make $2, $3, $4, $5. You know the chances of you making $2, $3, $4, $5 in Alaska Air is probably 40 to 1, 50 to 1, 60 to 1. Okay, so I told Oprem, that's my thinking on that, Money. I told Oprem I would talk about that Fink thing, and I am very much more in tune with Kramer. I have 2 kids. One is super successful. The other one is graduating school, and he's graduating business school. And, you know, it's tough. You know, you got to find a job, then you got to save money. You may want to get married. It's a lot. So that is the situation there. Let's see what else we had. Kramer talked about DraftKings setting up technically, and he was kind of sort of positive on a couple of retails, Gap, Bank, and Dick's. Goldman Sachs Asset Management thinks the market's fairly valued, and there's not a lot of upside from here on the U.S. stocks. But like I said, markets never go down based on valuations. Something pushes them. And we'll see what that is. It'll happen eventually, and we'll figure out what it is at the time. Mortgage applications fell 2% for the week, to my point. and with rates going down 697 to 693. So home affordability is awful. All right. China's Xi met with a bunch of our big executives, Blackstone, Qualcomm, FedEx, Apple, all going to get down on all fours, trying to get down into their market. We'll see how that goes for them. Krispy Kreme, I know it's not up a lot today, but I can't see how this is not a good idea. All right. They're going from 300 stores to 14,000 stores. And, you know, who knows, globally, they may even do that. So their revenues are going to like go through the roof. And I think it's a pretty good setup. And this whole obesity, people not eating crappy food and all that other stuff, I think that's another fad that will eventually pass. I don't think the weight loss drugs will pass, but I think people will start, oh, I'm skinny, I can eat a Krispy Kreme donut or whatever the case may be. I mean, I lost a lot of weight. So what did I have? You know, I had like a piece of French toast this morning, which I would never, ever have. That's to my point. So I think Krispy Kreme is uniquely situated. JP Morgan's talking about the chip stocks. They think Taiwan Semi is like the safest bet out there. RFK Jr. picked a running mate. She looks like an Asian gal. I can't, you know, not sure, but anyway, that doesn't really matter. She was married to Sergey Brin at one point. I don't know how many times this guy's been married, but I know two in the top of my head, so whatever. What else we got? Oh, he talked about stocks, retailers. I don't think that's important. Apple's going to have their annual developer conference on June 10th through the 14th. They probably will discuss their AI strategy at that event. And this guy, Newman from WeWorks, they're doubting whether he can get the financing to do the deal. Okay, earnings wise, Carnival Cruise, LE, Centess, Encino, Noah, Oust were decent. Kimberly Clark has an annual meeting today. Stock laid out some numbers. They were good. Hood is introducing a credit card. I call that big fucking deal. Apple talking with regulators about their walled garden. I guess that has to do with people accessing their, you know, the App Store. Myrna has positive news on vaccines. IBIO did a private 15 million and had some positive PR. Merck has a new treatment, first treatment for adults with pulmonary arterial hypertension, and that stocks up Finsky. NVCR had positive news. Outlook had good news. FDA positive for one of Medtronic's platforms. I continue to like that name. Run added to the S&P 600 from the 400. On the negative side, GME, which has been acting great, missed. What else is new? DRCT, Alt, missed. LiDAR, GME, I said. NEO lowered the delivery outlook. OGI is doing an offering. As far as things I'm watching today, I'm watching the Marvell #1. GoDaddy, initiate strong buy target 150. I told you to buy this stock, guys, at 50 something dollars. Okay, these analysts blow capital letters, exclamation point, and stick the steroid in your arm. Okay, you wait for these guys to come up with an idea, you're going to buy it, and then you're going to turn around, scratch your ass, and you're going to be down 20%. Do what sets up technically, not what these guys say. Otherwise, in research, there was really not a lot. UPS, no one likes it. OTLK, some little biotech, someone's got a 50 target, stocks 8. That's about it. All right, so I'm going to pass it over to Spartan, guys, and I will not be in tomorrow. Told you guys a bunch of times, and so that's the story. Good Friday, happy Easter, whatever. And Spartan, it's all yours.
All right, thank you, South Beach guys. Morning, what's up? So if you guys are new to chat and have already done so, make sure to click on that Discord link that's emailed to you. You're gonna pop in the chat. It's gonna look something a little bit like this. First area to go to, guys, when you do come in, click on that disclaimer section, give it a read, as well as go to the new to chat information section and scroll to the very, very top of the section. A link to the disclaimer as well as this bolded risk reward section. Super important to understand both. In regards to risk reward, guys, most important ratio in trading, so definitely worth checking out there. Continue to scroll down. We have the summary of how this chat works, breaks down all the channels, work on the left-hand side. So you can probably navigate the chat throughout the day. Important to know where to be looking. Continue to scroll down. How to read alerts on the options and equity side, breaking down how to read alerts on both sides. Pretty straightforward in that regard. Continue to scroll down. We have the options rules we like to use Monday to Thursday in regards to controlling risk, scaling in, scaling out, trading different price contracts. SPX rules right below that. Continue to scroll down. We have anyone with a small account, less than 10K, breaking down. If you do have a smaller account, less than 10K, some rules, information, discipline you can put in place so you can better manage your account. How to pick ideas from an options or equity perspective below that. And lastly, high conviction small account trades posted in that area when they do make sense. Let's take a look what we got going on today, guys. A couple different things. Pre-market tickers on watch. Everything's posted here. Whoa, where is it? Oh yeah, you guys on the YouTube can watch the or read it if you want. Pause it and read it. There you go. On the options side. Keep forgetting it's Wednesday. Feels like a Thursday because it's a short week. There's your options. Okay, let's take a look what we got going on today. So a couple different things. Obviously, all the charts are posted. Tesla, SMCI, CTAS, Merck, DJT, Hood. Tesla gapping up, see with the market same as SMCI, CTAS gapping up on earnings, Merck gapping on an FDA approval, DJT gapping up a continuation, then Hood, Robinhood, and Velvet's credit card gapping up on that. Let's take a look at these names from a technical standpoint intraday. First two we're looking at today, guys, going to be Tesla and going to be the SMCI. Let's have a gander. So Tesla, guys, 179.40. Pivot to the upside today. This levels holds 182.67, 186.50. Unable to hold. Look for a pullback towards 174.94. To the 170.57 on the downside, leaning bullish future there. Leaning bullish future, looking for a continuation push higher. Let's take a look at SMCI 1044. Pivot level holds 1078, 1104. Unable to hold 1012, then 974 on the downside. Going to be leaning bullish as well. Looking for a continuation push higher if that pivot point can hold. All right, let's take a look at the next two here, guys. CTAS and Merck. CTAS 654 pivot level hold 661, 661, 668. Above that around 684. Unable to hold 649, 644, 69 on the downside, leaning bullish neutral. Then we leaning bullish neutral. Yeah. Just take a look at Merck. Pivot to the upside today is going to be 130.62 level holds 132.42 to 134.35. Unable to hold 128.43, 126 downside, leaning bullish neutral. Looking for a continuation push higher if that level is able to hold, aka the pivot. DJT and Hood. DJT pivot to the upside today, 67.59 level hold, 74.23, 79.35. Unable to hold 63.60, 57.28, leaning bullish at the moment. Looks like it can continue to push there. It's a decent looking chart, actually. Nice flag break on the hourly. Hood, 2049 pivot, level holds 21.28, 22.29. Unable to hold 19.59, 19.04. Downside, leaning bullish neutral. Let's take a look at the spine, the Fang. So, oh, it looks like we did break out of the channel. Nice, good. Okay. 520.82. It's kind of hard to see that. But regardless, SPY. So 520.82 pivot to the upside today. In my opinion, this level holds room higher into the 521.51 resistance breaks. We see the 522.65 tested. Pivot unable to hold. Room lower into the 519.66 support. Breaks. We see the 518.39 tested. Leading bullish. Outside day. I think, you know, that we got this downtrend break. You got a huge reversal occurring. I definitely think there's shorts that are stuck from last day into the end of the day for sure. And yeah, it's looking pretty good for a continued reversal there. So let's see what happens. All right, let's take a look at the rest of the thing. Apple, guys, pivot to the upside today. 170.65 level holds 171.43, 171.96. Unable to hold 170.16, 169.55. Leaning bullish there. Amazon pivot to the upside today. Going to be the 179.38 level holds 180.29, 181.46. Unable to hold 177.98 to 176.75. Leaning bullish neutral. Netflix pivot to the upside today. Going to be 629.52 level hold 632.37 to 634.36. Unable to hold 626.27, 623.16 downside. Leaning bullish neutral there as well. Looking for a continuation push higher. Meta 499.47 level holds. 504.69, 510.09. Unable to hold 495.17, 491.60 on the downside. Leaning bullish neutral. Google pivot to the upside today. Going to be the 150.80 level holds 152.31 to 153.85. Unable to hold 149.89 to the 147.89 downside. Leaning bullish neutral. Fixed Qs IWM. VIX 1308 level holds 1343, 1383. Unable to hold 1240 downside. QQQs pivot to the upside 445.34. Levels able to hold 447. 25 to 449.35. Unable to hold 444.25, 442.52 downside. Leaning bullish neutral. SPX pivot to the downside today, guys. 52.15 levels unable to hold 51.85, 51.54 able to hold 52.39, 52.61 on the upside. Going to be leaning on the bearish or sorry bullish neutral side. They're looking for a continuation push higher. So that's a SPY. That is the FANG. Those are the individual names that we are looking at today. We'll see what happens. Should be an interesting day. Overall, you know, I think it's gonna be outside day, so we'll be looking for continuation to the upside. Anywho, guys, that's it. Gonna go ahead and shut down the YouTube stream. Thanks for popping in, guys. We do this every single Monday, so not Monday, Wednesday. So come check us out next